If you're a high school football fan here in West Texas,
we are here out at our game of the week in Anson, Texas.
make sure you watch the West Texas Tribune Red Zone Blitz, powered by Complete Nutrition.
You're going to find out if you ever come down here. This is the football capital.
I'm here with one of Anson's biggest fans, Michael Salt. And what do you think about the
Jack Walker and Sam Beal put on a great show every week with great commentary and awesome game highlights.
It's going to be a great year.
It is going to be a great year.
You don't want to miss this, folks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is here at last.
The red zone is more than just football. You know, there's a red zone in life. So we all may experience trials and tribulations. You know, before any breakthrough in life, you're always going to hit that wall and that oppression. And that is what we call the red zone. So what you must do is really just keep pushing forward and never give up. Because anybody, you know, that has ever experienced any pain, even in the weight room, whatever it may be, you know, most people give up. But in the red zone, that's when it really matters, because you really want to get that ball in that end zone and get that breakthrough. So
If there's anyone qualified to talk about the red zone of life,
what's going on, guys?
Chad Mitchell.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on your show. Yeah, man, I think it's incredible with Big Country Red Zone, Western Texas Tribune, and then also, you know, powered by Complete Nutrition. It's exciting, man, because here at Complete, they don't just care about your supplements and your intake. They care about your life as well, and that's really important. That's why I'm a big advocate of Complete Nutrition with Sammy, and they've helped me a tremendous amount of just counseling through nutrition, and also just inspiring me that actually I could get in shape. Just got my results, man, at 12.5% body fat, which is crazy for my age, and so I'm really excited about what's to come in the future. So definitely a big fan of Complete Nutrition, reach out papers, thank you guys for jumping for the community. Red light, man, the red zone of life, man, you got to keep pushing no matter what, regardless of what struggles, regardless of what adversity you have in life, you just got to continue to push through and finally get that score. And so that's where results take place. That's where you see how you impact people, and that's how I gauge my success. Is if I truly inspire and encourage people in life to go forward no matter what, regardless of your economic status, regardless of what situation you face. Let every setback be a setup for success. And so that's what, to me, like the red zone of life is just continue to push through and make a difference in any way possible.
You've been the chaplain for the Abilene High School football team for quite some time now.
Yeah, man, 17 years. I got to meet with them on this week for my 17th year. It's an incredible opportunity to get to I did the math, and I got to meet over 1,000 women through that program. And so definitely blessed. I love Coach Cox and the program. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of Coach Warren and what he built there. The legacy just continues on. It's not just about wins and losses, it's about truly inspiring these men to go and be world changers. We had Councilman Williams speak to the team this week, and he talked about honestly building champions, and the reality is that what you learn here is helping you to truly be a difference maker. So yeah, I love working with those boys. I get to watch boys come in. Be on the lookout as we get a movie come forward soon, and production will start there very soon, so we'll be announcing all that days ahead. Yeah, a lot of great things for the city of Abilene, community of Abilene. Literally, I believe our message and what we're trying to do in Abilene, Texas,
So I remember that movie was inspired by your theme back in 2009, My Brother's Keeper.
Right.
So did you have a theme this year for the team and stuff like that?
I do. We don't talk about it until after the season.
Okay.
Yeah, those guys keep it on their bracelet. I actually haven't. They have to earn their bracelets every year, and so I actually haven't earned my bracelets yet. So, but it's something we keep quiet. People in 2009 didn't even know our theme until after the season. So of course, so yeah, those guys, they will have a theme. They actually don't know. So in a couple of weeks, they'll receive their bracelets with the theme. They will talk about it after the season.
Right. So we're having more to come on that. Make sure you guys like, comment, submit feedback, subscribe, and It's going to be a great year.
It is going to be a great year. Just inspire the world and to make this world a much better place in any way possible. And I'm convinced we might not change the entire world, but we can definitely change someone's world by a small act of kindness. And so that's why we try to live each and every day. Just inspire the world.
Well, definitely one of my favorite quotes of all time. Thank you, Chad. We appreciate it.
Bless you, brother.
All right. For the West Texas Tribune and Big Country Red Zone of the Blitz with Chad Mitchell and Jack Walker, we are signing out. We're out in Anson for our game of the week. The Hamlin Pied Pipers coming to town to play
pass up number 25. Number 8 is going to wave about the pass. Number 42, Chris Jones, brought down by number 24. There's the flag on the play.
Here we go. Jack Walker with the West Texas Tribune. I'm here with Jason Solis. You guys actually went down to Hamlin last year in the first game of the season and still held them 14 points.
Yes, sir.
And you've been you're a 3-year varsity player, started for 2 years.
Yes, sir.
What are some of the things you tell these younger guys as you're trying to acclimate them into the season?
We just got to stay focused and stay disciplined. We can't be getting into personal battles. We've got to stay clean and just be a disciplined ball team.
Coming up, what do you think is some of the more tougher games you guys face ahead of you and so forth like that?
Probably Winthrop will be a tough one for us, and definitely Albany.
And Coach Hagler, he's disciplined and he's a very driven individual. How has he affected you and impacted you?
You know, he's just kept me positive through this whole process. You know, he's lifted me up in times I needed to be lifted up, and you know, he's a great leader as a coach and as a person.
What do you think would have been the turning point in this game? Like, when did you guys really know, like, the momentum switched in favor of you guys? And just to come out and win the first game of the season, how important is that? How touchstone is that? Like, what are your aspirations for this year?
You know, I knew coming out we'd have the momentum because of just the atmosphere. We set the tone early on, you know, and so I just feel like we had the momentum most of the time. There were a couple of times that we'd make a stop on 3rd down or 4th down that shift the momentum back on our side, but you know, I just feel like we carried the momentum for the most part.
All right, Jason Solis for the Anson Tigers. We'll see you guys again soon. Wonderful game today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Struggle. You know, discipline was an unfortunate case tonight for us, not being very disciplined, but our sophomores, it looked like, from what I can tell without watching film, did pretty well. So if we can get them brought up in a good way and get around that learning curve, we'll be just fine.
Right, and prior to your arrival here, when you started to helm this team, Anson was in the abyss of the program as a program, like in the big country. You've really revived it.
Well, I appreciate those words, and contrary to belief, right before I got here, you know, Keith Wolf had grew a couple of good years there, but prior to that, you know, it was a 4-6, 5-5, or you know, 7-4, and then they were done. So, and we preached that as soon as we got here about climbing that next level and setting the standard a little higher, and the kids have bought in, and it's taken off after their first year.
So 10-4 last season. You guys are. What do you think is touchstone in terms of your success this year?
Well, you know, we've got to stay healthy. Number one. You know, our depth could be an issue down the line. We've got depth at offensive line, which we haven't had in a while. We've got a bunch of big boys, so, you know, we've just got to stay healthy, and we've got to continue to grow as a team, get better, and develop some of that team chemistry, because there's a lot of mix out there that kids haven't played, and they're mixing pretty good right now. But we've got to develop better practice habits too. So that's where we can learn that discipline stuff.
Okay, so wrapping up, if we were to reverse roles, Hamlin, their Achilles heel, I guess you guys go down there last season, kind of.
That shot will happen, yeah.
46-14, you guys beat them, and then now they come down here and they're looking to reciprocate that, if you will. And what is it like for, like in some of these contests you guys are going to have with some of the teams that beat you last year? What do you tell the players?
Well, I tell you what, Hamlin is always bringing the fight, and it's pride of Jones County. So we're going to get their best out of Coach Lucas's bunch. He has them ready every time. And they're not ever where they're going to be week 8, 9, 10. They always make that climb, and they were district champions last year after, we put a pretty good score on them last year, and then they got better from there. And so what I can preach to my kids is that, we can do the same thing. That's what we've got to do, kind of model ourselves after them, is that they get better week to week to week. And season 2 is where it's most important, and that's district race. And so we've got to stay healthy. We've got to continue to get better, and then hopefully we'll find ourselves in the postseason.
All right, thank you, Coach. I appreciate it. Jack Walker, West Texas Tribune. We'll see you guys very soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. That game was, Anson went to Hamlin last season, and it was 46-14. So not the most stellar performance for the opening game on your home field, and then meanwhile they gave the Pied Pipers a chance to kind of get their vengeance, and it didn't go so smoothly. They still held them at 14 points. Anson meanwhile put up 35. A lot of seniors graduated from last year, but they still had a pretty good game.
Had a good game. So it's cool to be able to see, from a huge blowout last year, this year that they were able to keep it a little bit closer, keep it more entertaining for everybody watching. So I know those guys been working really, really hard and had that bad taste in their mouth.
And when we talk about the red zone, it really extends beyond the football field and the fall sports programs, but it's the red zone of life, if you will.
The red zone of life. Think about it. Whenever football teams, the offensive guys get into the red zone, that's whenever the defense is on their toes the most. That's when you will be oppressed the most. Well, the red zone is more than just football. There's a red zone in life. So we all may experience trials and tribulations. Before any breakthrough in life, you're always going to hit that wall and that oppression. And that is what we call the red zone. So what you must do is really just keep pushing forward and never give up. Because anybody, that has ever experienced any pain, even in the weight room, whatever it may be, most people give up. But in the red zone, that's when it really matters, because you really want to get that ball in that end zone and get that breakthrough. So if you're suffering in life, all the hurricane victims and things in that nature, whatever it may be, just consider yourself in the red zone at that point in time and just keep pushing through and go get that touchdown.
Yeah, every moment is critical. It's like you said, it can make or break you. So you definitely want to pay attention to that. So speaking of that and the red zone and all this, how difficult is it for an athlete to recover, like from a considerably dominant loss, especially at home? So actually, we just got to talk about Hamlin and
right. Man, just coming from playing college ball and high school ball, especially out here in West Texas, man, it's very tough. When you experience a loss, sometimes it's better to lose big than it is to lose by a small amount of points. So it's tough mentally. You just got to pick yourself back up and almost have short memory, as they say, because playing receiver, I was always told, have a short memory. If you drop a pass, don't dwell on that. Move on, forget that and move on and stay focused for the next one to come. So I know a lot of these guys hang their heads and get upset and depressed after a big loss or something like that. But life is not all about football, but football is all about life. So taking a loss in a football game can show you what it's like to take a loss or experience something out here in life. So you just got to pick yourself back up and keep pushing forward, because it's not over until you quit. And it's hard to beat somebody who never quits.
It is hard to beat the intransigence.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And so we have a lot of other games going on in the big country for 2017. The inauguration last Friday night. Like I said, we were out at Anson and Hamlin. Each week we're going to highlight a player of the week, so we'll announce that at the end of the show. And then we're going to announce a game of the week, which we'll be at next week. and you guys are more than welcome to come up here and nominate that. You can nominate it on the Facebook page. And so you mentioned about the Cooper, and then you also went on to play at McMurray. Cooper had a pretty good game. They went down to Keller Central in Dallas and 48-35.
48-35. I think that was good considering the fact that Cooper's kind of been an underdog. And even when I played at Cooper, you know, we were always tended to be looked at as an underdog. So, you know, it makes me really happy to see those guys push through and come back with a solid win. I know they had a receiver that got pretty close to beating one of my former teammates, Cole Jackson's record. So, man, that kid, if he stays focused, he's going to have some great plans ahead for him.
A great focus, and we mentioned Miller Royals, as this gentleman is speaking of, a senior wideout for Cooper. He's also in Dave Campbell's magazine as a player to watch. We put him in our preview for the West Texas Tribune player watch. 136 yards. He had 12 catches, which was one short of Jackson's record, and 2 scores. And then also Whitfield. You don't want to leave Tyrese Whitfield out. He didn't get too much playing time last year, but some real strong performance. 4 touchdowns, $176 rushing, and the Cougars really put on a good performance in the road. They'll be back in Shotwell Friday against Grapevine.
Nice, yeah, so that'll be something to watch for sure. I think they got a good roll going, good momentum. And we all know the hardest thing to do is get that car moving initially, but once the wheels are turning, that momentum just push you right through. Hopefully they can bring out another win.
And then a lot of them are, Cooper is not necessarily considered like a powerhouse or anything like that, but they did really well against Toledo. We spoke about that last week, and they're my sleeper team.
Yep. Don't sleep on Cooper. You know, they got a lot of returning, upperclassmen and so on and so forth. So I think that the chemistry on that team, you know, they're a true band of brothers. So I think that's going to shine through all season. So I'm looking forward to great things coming from those guys.
Yeah, they return 5 starters on offense and 5 starters on defense. So almost half the team. They should be something to not ever take lightly. So we move into Abilene Wiley, and this is probably our #1 team in West Texas in terms of our complete nutrition power rankings. The Bulldogs went to state last year. Hugh Sandifer is always suiting up a wonderful football team down there, and they Vernon had no chance against them.
No chance. Blowout. Those guys, the coaching staff, the team, the teamwork, the chemistry that they have, man. Every year, every time, man, you really can't touch them, you know. So I'm super excited to see another great local team, you know, take it real far this year.
Vernon was held to just 9 first downs. Cason Grant, quite a performance rushing. He scored a rushing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, knocked in a 29-yard field goal, and then was flawless on his point after attempt. So five extra points, and it was 38-0 at the half.
They never looked back.
Never looked back. Now, McMurray lost 10-0, unfortunately, to OK Panhandle. 10-0.
10-0. So yeah, you know, I think that the Warhawks, man, they've experienced some of the trials, you know, in life with different coaching coming in and out and so on and so forth, and you know, and I think that it's just a rebuilding process for those guys. So I think that once they get to know each other a little better and continue to work hard, you know, I think that their program will build and continue to get better. So still got a lot of love for the Warhawks. Shout out to Coach Mummy. I don't know where he's at nowadays, but much love to him.
Right, Coach Mummy for the patented air raid. And speaking of, you know, rebuilding season, if you will, there's a stadium being built for our Abilene Christian Wildcats, and they'll be taking on New Mexico. It's their D1 debut, if you will, tonight at ACU. Adam Durrell debuts as their head coach, and what's interesting about him is he's won 3 national championships, but this was at Division II level.
Wow.
So
see if we can transfer that into this new division. And I know that's going to be pretty tough too, you know, kind of switching and coming up at a division where it's more competitive. You know, that's another red zone type of scenario there in life, you know, overcoming that and being the underdogs. But I think that anything's possible, especially when you work together as band of brothers. Right,
definitely. And as far as Hardin Simmons goes, they're going to be idle. But the women's volleyball team, the Lady Cowboys, there will be playing down at Mary Hardin Baylor. They have an season opening tournament, if you will. So they're pulling the work for HSU. For more information on the college stuff and all that, you can always log on to www.westtexastribune.com. Follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, and so forth. And of course, there's always a lot going on up here at Complete Nutrition on Cat Claw Drive.
Absolutely. We'd love to see you guys. We're gonna be doing some giveaways. If you guys want to come by and kind of give us your insight on who you think the West Texas Tribune player of the week is, we'll always have some good giveaways for you guys. So absolutely, come by. We'd love to see you.
Yeah, and so if you were to, you can nominate your player of the week. Come up to Complete Nutrition. Check out what they have. You can go to the Complete Nutrition Facebook
page. And shoot us a DM, a message, or anything like that. We'll definitely put you in that drawing for that free product or whatever it may be that we're giving away that week.
Always going to be something definitely cool. So participate, interact. That's the best way we can support the community. So we're going to rattle through a couple other scores. Eastland 42-20 over Merkel. Snyder lost 14-7 to Midland Greenwood. Baird, very disappointing, 50-0. That one probably hurt a little bad right there. Hawley was probably maybe the surprise. They won 34-21 over Monday, and Monday they had a pretty solid team.
Yeah, Monday's usually a pretty big powerhouse in that division, so it's crazy to see Hawley come through with that win.
Right, and for more, like I said, you can get more of that on the WTT website. Our power rankings in terms of the area, our top 5 teams, our Complete Nutrition Power 5.
Okay.
And we got coming in at number 5, the defending state champion Albany Lions, and this is pound for pound, just everybody on non-classification. Albany Lions come in, they won last night. Abilene High comes in at number 4, despite the loss. Sweetwater, they made it all the way to the state final last year. Cooper comes in at number 2.
Yeah, they're showing some strengths right now. So, like I said, they're still looked at as the underdog, but man, I'm always bleeding red and blue. So I'm excited for those guys.
Yeah.
And number 1,
the Abilene Wiley Bulldogs. You can never rule out the Purple Haze.
No.
So they got something pretty good going on. And then as far as our Complete Nutrition Player of the Week goes, you spoke about this gentleman earlier.
Yep, our Complete Nutrition Player of the Week is going to be Myler Royals. I hope I'm saying his first name correctly, but man, 12 catches, and 2 touchdowns for 136 yards. A lot of yak yards too, yards after catch. So, man, he's done some great things already thus far, and to be able to almost beat Cole Jackson's record, which Cole Jackson has left a huge legacy in Abilene. People still miss him. Rest in peace to my brother. But man, I think that this kid Royals, I think he's got a bright future, man. I think it's somebody to definitely look out for.
Definitely. And now, correct me if I'm wrong, but that Jackson's set that record in the Crosstown Showdown back in 2000. Is that right?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe it was in 2011. I believe is when it was. So. Yeah,
that's what I just said. Yeah, 2010 or 2011.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was a year after I had graduated, but yeah, that's whenever he set that record, and it's been standing pretty strong. So we'll see if Royals can come through and beat that this year.
And we want to emphasize this is not the Big Country Red Zone Blitz. Of course, it has the the football sentiment and so forth and the terminology, but it is by no means limited to the football field. It includes all of the fall sports. And also, like we said, the Red Zone Life. So if you guys have anybody with a compelling story, or if you want to send something like that in, we would love to feature it in the news on the show and tell your story, because it's very, very important to harness those struggles.
Absolutely. I think that we all need that. We all need to hear these stories, because it's very easy to get caught in the world of surfaces, and that's what we live in. Everybody just sees the surfaces of things and don't really realize the inner struggles that each one of us battle and face. And so, to me, I feel like it's very important for all of us to hear these testaments and these stories, because at the end of the day, they are testaments, test of the mentals. In Latin is mental. So testament is a test of your mental. So how mentally strong are you? And are you going to be able to push past that red zone and get that touchdown? Because in life, I promise, before any breakthrough, it doesn't matter what aspect of life, you're always going to experience that road bump, that speed bump, that roadblock, something that's going to oppress you. So we must remember, what makes those diamonds is pressure. So strive and thrive under pressure, for sure. Absolutely.
Strive and thrive under pressure. So we have more to come throughout the week. Make sure you guys be sure and participate. So the more you can do for us, the more we can do for you. And when we say that, see, we already got people calling the hotline and everything.
For sure, guys. Absolutely. We'd love to see you guys. Don't forget, send us in DM or come by the store and write us, you know, your recommendations for Players of the Week. You'll be entered to win a free product or some sort of giveaway, whether it's a 6-pack bag, whether it's a free protein powder, a free pre-workout, or nitric oxide, whatever it may be. We got tons of different things in here, and we'd love to help each and every single one of you guys out.
And we might even send y'all on a trip somewhere from compliments of the Red Zone Blitz.
Absolutely.
So we got quite a bit more to come throughout the week. So make sure, because we will nominate, we'll let you know what where we're going to be at next Friday. So you can always weigh in and participate with that. Let us know what you think is definitely the game of the week. And so here we are at Complete Nutrition Abilene with Mr. Sam, Be All You Can Be.
Be All You Can Be, that's right. Sam Be All. Absolutely. It's been a blessing, guys. I'm glad that we're able to team up and you know, give out a great message for the community and give you guys the best feedback on all the sports and different things that are going around in West Texas in this local area.
Yeah, so make sure you guys come check out Complete Nutrition on the Hollywood Boulevard, if you will, of Abilene. And we will be in a lot of places. If you haven't noticed, we have the Complete Nutrition air cactus for the West Texas Tribune. And hopefully this show is going to evolve into something pretty special. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. The more you can support us, the more we can support you.
Absolutely, we're here for you guys. That's why we do it. So don't forget to go to the West Texas Tribune Facebook and like that Facebook as well. Tons of different updates and inspiring stories on there. Check out all the videos.
Thank you for watching Week 1 of the West Texas Tribune High School Football Red Zone Blitz, powered by Complete Nutrition. If you would be interested in sponsoring your favorite team, player, cheerleader, or band member, give us a call, 325-733-8011. My name is Trish Ayers. I'm the team captain for the Big Country Red Zone Blitz.
Knock that down.